How y'all doing? It's Cody back again, dropping my second video of the day. This one, I'm just gonna come. I've done a few videos on this in the past, but I'm gonna go more in depth and explain a little bit more. Talking about drugs today. Why are drugs so lucrative? Why is the market thriving? Who buys these sorts of drugs, and how do they make profit? Right. Well, as someone that's been involved with drugs, I was involved with selling crack and heroin. I didn't sell it for myself. I was running the show for some Asian kids from Rochdale. I was debt collecting, bagging it, getting rid of it. It wasn't small time. It was a big national operation. I'll not mention any names as usual. Right, they mainly dealt in crack and heroin. That was the main drug, and also one of the other lads, he was selling a coke. Now, if you buy a kilo, right? So for those that don't know, a kilo is in size terms bigger than a house brick, right? So say you buy a kilo, so a house brick size block of, let's say heroin, or let's say cocaine for this analogy, right? So you get your kilo of coke. It might be 70-80%. You might have paid 20 grand for the key, depending on purity and stuff like that, right? So you get your house brick. To those that don't know, you then cut it with a cutting agent, right? Which it could be anything, rat poison. Drug dealers these days, they're using more chemicals and drugs and stuff to cut the cocaine because it maximizes profit. Now, so if you've got a block of cocaine that's, 60, 70, 80%, 90% purity, so it's pretty much pure, right? You cut it. So once you've cut your kilo, you've now got 2 kilos. So straight away, just by cutting your kilo of heroin or your cocaine for this segment, right? So you've got 2 kilos now. So just by cutting your drugs, your class A cocaine, you've now got 2 house bricks. These 2 house bricks now are worth 20 grand each, right? And you can bang them out at that. There's 2 levels you can do your drug dealing on, right? You can do it on a national operation where you just deal nationally and you move in large amounts, you're moving kilos and kilos and kilos of drugs. Or what you can do you can buy a kilo, you can bash, or half a kilo, you can bash it, which means cutting it with a cutting agent, so you're maximizing your drugs and stuff. Like I say, if you've got half a kilo and you use half a kilo cutting agent, you've got a house brick, so again, doubling your profits again. Like I say, but if there's 2 ways you can do it. You can do it nationally like these lads were doing, or you can do it street level where you buy smaller amounts, you cut it and you sell it at street level. Cocaine was, and I think still is, to be honest, known as the rich man's drug. People that used to buy it from us were, like I said, I've dealt in mainly crack and heroin, but I have also sold, was involved with a gang that was selling cocaine. Crack and heroin addicts not just, right, crack and heroin, right, there's 2 ways you can do it. Obviously, you can inject it with citric acid on a spoon, burn it, pull it up into a needle, and then you can bang it straight into your vein. Or you can smoke it as well. You can put it into a spliff and smoke it, which obviously, but heroin's one of the most addictive drugs on earth because it's opiate based and stuff. But the thing is with people that take crack cocaine and heroin, crack cocaine known as cheese or whatever you want to call it, it's a super addictive drugs, and it leads on to serious crimes, your car crimes, house crimes and stuff, because shopliftings, things like that, because these drug addicts that are on heroin and stuff, they have to feed their habit. Cocaine can be as addictive, but like the clientele for cocaine is your everyday street people, up to, we used to have solicitors barristers, solicitors. There was even a guy that worked for the Crown Prosecution Service who used to buy for us. I actually used to do the door. I won't mention any names here. I actually used to do the door with a former Greater Manchester police officer. He's now died. God bless him, may he rest in peace. But he used to actually ferry. This is God's honest truth. He used to ferry drugs around in his police car and stuff like that. And then I worked the doors with him. He's a gentleman, really good guy. Sadly, no longer with us. Never thought I'd say that about a police officer, but he was a really, really good guy. Got involved in some mad shit, and then sadly died of natural causes. So God bless him, may he rest in peace. But like I say, it wasn't through taking drugs he died neither. But like I say, so, and then now it's all about the legal highs and stuff. Now legal highs, fucking hell, like legal highs are now taking over as the drug of choice by people. You're talking your spice, or Mamba as it's known, spice as I know it. I've come across the drugs in many different aspects, right? I was involved with drugs, right, back in the day. I'm no longer involved in drugs, just for the record, but I was, right? So dealing it, that was one side. The second side was when I was doing the doors all over Manchester, Blackpool, Yorkshire, Manchester, Oldham, Ashton, Rochdale, Bury, all these places, right? So that's where I came into drugs the next time, and then obviously I was selling drugs on the door as well when I was doing when involved with the gangs and stuff. But the next time I came in thinking with drugs was in December 2014. I was remanded wrongly on a witness intimidation. I ended up in strange ways, and I couldn't believe, right? I'd heard stories about what goes on in prison and stuff, but it was my first time in jail. Surprisingly enough, because the police have been after me for a long time, and I couldn't believe all these legal highs and drugs and mobile phones within prisons. It shocked me. I'm unshockable, to be honest, but even I was thinking, fuck me, how's this getting? And then obviously having spent months behind bars and stuff and seeing what goes on and clued up and with the constricts and stuff and how things get in and the drones and everything else. I saw drugs on the next level then. My pad mate at the time was selling them. Again, no names. He was selling them from his cell. He had trips, LSD and stuff. Spice was everywhere. People dying on spice and like having fits and everything. It was a bit crazy. The lad that took the LSD, he smashed up his cell, thinking he was fighting a fire-breathing dragon. There was a lad that was on our wing in strange ways who was a heroin addict for, I think, 20 years or something, and he got offered spice for the first time in prison, and he took it. As mad as this sounds, right, the next bit is correct, is true, right? The spice actually weaned him off heroin. So what does that say for the potency and the strength and the effects of spice for a heroin addict? Heroin being one of the most addictive drugs known to man, with the opiates and stuff, with it being an opiate-based drug. And like I say, now these legalised with the THCs and stuff and the chemical makeup of spice and stuff, and these legalised, it weaned him off heroin. So he was weaned off one drug onto another. The thing is with legalised, why they're so popular now is, right, they're illegal and all this sort of stuff and everything, but just because something's illegal doesn't mean anything. The fucking heroin and crack cocaine's illegal. So is cocaine and fucking pills and everything else, but it doesn't mean it's not about, does it, people? Come on now. So yeah, with legal highs, even now they've been made illegal, they've been pushed underground, but their price is slowly creeping up because they're becoming more and more addictive. Everyone's on them in prisons. Well, most people in prisons are on them. There's definitely an epidemic within prisons with the legal highs. They're half the price of your mainstream drugs. So let's say the cocaine again, right? So say a gram of cocaine, not flake, just normal bashed coke, is 40 quid a gram, right? Thereabouts, right? A gram of spice, so legal high Mamba, same stuff, is half that price. So it's half the price, double the potency. So people use the red and think, well, hold on, I can get two grams of spice for the price of 1 gram of cocaine. So they buy 2 grams of spice, don't they? That's why it's so popular. Like I say, prisons are rife with them, drugs on the streets and stuff, dwindling police numbers, more organised criminals and stuff. People take drugs for many different reasons. I don't take them myself. I've tried weed, didn't agree with me. That was many moons ago. But yeah, the thing is with drugs is they are popular. For some people, they're recreational. They take them on nights out when they go to raves. Bowlers, like here in Manchester, bowlers do like events and stuff, dance events and stuff, and people get off the nut. Back in the day, people used to go to Wigan Pier, which is no longer there, it's been knocked down. So yeah, people take it recreationally. Like I say, the clientele for cocaine is everyday street people up to barristers, solicitors and Crown Prosecution Service employees. So drugs are everywhere. People take them for many different reasons. Some people might have been at a low point in their life. I'm talking about like heroin and crack now. They might have been offered the drugs as at a low point in their life, and they saw it as a way out, or they was easily impressionable, like they was easily influenced and stuff. They take the drugs, they become addicted. My uncle, God bless his soul, may he rest in peace. He suffered with depression. He got out of prison when he was in Armley prison when I was 2.5, 3. And he took prescription drugs with alcohol, which is different to this, but drugs are drugs. And sadly, as a consequence, he passed away. So people take drugs for many different reasons, whether it be suicide attempts, recreationally, because they're easily influenced and they've been offered it at a low point in their life. There's many different reasons. Drugs are everywhere, to be honest. I mean, I think like every £20 note or £5 note that comes into contact with them has come into some kind of contact with drugs, because obviously people roll the £20 note up and they snort the line of coke. I have to speak in layman's terms because some people that watch these videos may not know anything about cocaine. They might just think, oh, well, how do you take it? What do you do? Things like that. So, like I say, it's like if you take a key, you just get the end of your key, dip it in 2 grams of coke and just straight out your nostril and it's gone. I'm not telling anyone to take drugs, of course. I'm not that stupid. But like I say, people take drugs for many different reasons. It's a very, very lucrative market. Gangs run drugs, gangsters run drugs. Just people trying to make a quick buck. Like I say, some people, they get into the game of drugs. They'll buy a couple of kilos or something, or a kilo, 2 kilos, a couple of like half a key, something, cut it, bag it, fuck it off, make a quick buck. Some people are in the game for a long time, make very big money. Amphetamines and stuff like that, steroids. Drugs come in many different forms. Some people take steroids to get big and stuff for bodybuilding. Some people might take clenbuterol, which is actually clenbuterol is actually used to help, I think it's asthma sufferers, and it opens the lung capacity. But some people take it because it can cut your body fat. So bodybuilders might take it and stuff, and people that have got breathing problems might take it. Amphetamines, drugs like T5s and stuff, again, to strip fat, because we're body conscious people. So like I say, drugs come in many, many different, like weed can calm you down and calm your nerves and stuff. And obviously I've been seeing a lot recently that cannabis oil has been used to fight cancer, and it cures cancer. So like I say, people take many different drugs for many different reasons, whether it be medicinal, like people could have glaucoma, they smoke a bit of weed. People could have multiple sclerosis, they smoke the weed because it gives them pain from joint pain and stuff. Like I say, so people can take them for many, many different reasons. And like I say, so if you're a dealer and you've got like, you get all load of money together and you're starting out and you buy a kilo and you cut it, you go from having 1 house brick to having 2 house bricks, 20 grand for the first one, 20 grand for the second one, you fuck them off to a street dealer, the street dealer bashes them out, he makes a profit, you make a profit, everybody's a winner. But then for the drug addicts that are taking these drugs, they're going out and they're committing stupid amounts of crimes to feed their habit. So it's a vicious circle. but it's a very lucrative market. People are going to keep selling drugs because, again, it's a lucrative business. You can make a lot of money. People that sell these drugs and stuff, right? Firearms and drugs go hand in hand. Fast cars, women, jewelry, watches, bling, all that stuff. It's money, it's power, it's guns, it's dog eat dog. You got to do what you got to do to survive. Now, like I say, within gangs, you've got these smaller kids, like the young kids that are 12, 13, 14. In the eyes of these gang members that are pushing these kids out onto the street with these drugs, they're below the age of legal responsibility, so they'll get a slap on the wrist. Me as a 32-year-old man, if I've got these drugs on me, I'm going to prison for a long time, yeah? If I've got a kid there that's 12, 13, and I push him out on the street with the same drugs onto the street, right, he's probably get a slap on the wrist, right? So kids are exploited in the drug world to make money, and because they'd be below the age of legal responsibility, and that's just a fact. But anyway, guys, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for listening. Speak to you soon.